I remember finishing playing through damn near 100 plus hours on Persona 5 and spamming the main playlist on Spotify for months straight. Like, you could actually play it anywhere. Cafe, check. Studying, check. Walking, check. And after I spammed it straight into the ground, I tried finding similar type music that, truly incorporated the acid, funky lo-fi Japanese jazz that was in every single one of the Persona songs. And after failing to find any similar hits, even with doo-doo recommendations, giving up. Until of course Persona 3 Reload dropped recently, and I was reminded that, well, what do you know? There are actually more Personas than just Persona 5. I don't know why my monkey-eye brain came to the conclusion that 5 naturally just had to be better than 1 through 4. Maybe it was the acclaim of the game, or recency bias. Regardless, I never gave 3's song selection a chance because I had never played the game. Until now, of course. I'm going to start off by saying that Persona 5's singer for most of the OSTs is black. And even though she pretended that she's Asian, I refuse to believe that the soul-enriched, melancholic, funky-ass vocals behind Persona 5 was sung by anyone else. Persona 3, on the other hand, has a less Souls-like, quieter, almost velvety vocal behind it that, I don't know, like it just matches the aesthetics of Persona 3's instruments like extremely well. Now, I'm not saying that Persona 5 doesn't, in its own sense, match the secret agent thief vibe it was going out for. I'm just saying that, which one I personally preferred. I personally enjoy the vocals more for Persona 3 than 5, but I can also see how some people might also enjoy 5 more. On the downside, I wasn't a real fan of most of the raps in the Persona 3's song selection. Since I can't remember myself speaking Japanese, it mostly came off as cringe, not gonna lie. But I was legit saying the exact same thing for one of the Bleach endings. And that shit grew on me, so you actually never know. Persona 5's opening is, honestly, iconic as fuck. Like, I feel most people that haven't even played Persona, or even touched the controller in their life, know this opening. As for me, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I never really adored the opening. It just felt like a generic anime opening to me, and if I was to stack replay value of songs on Persona 5's soundtrack, it was definitely at the lowest. Persona 5's opening, is a strong intro for sure, and it does well to introduce players to the aesthetic and vibe of the game. But like this graph right here, that's about where it ends. In comparison, Persona 3's old opening just does something bad out to me. The old one's acid jazz to the absolute core. It feels less generic in comparison to the rest of its soundtrack. It still packs a punch as an opener, introducing the style of the game. The new one that they just had on, the new Reload version is just as good in a completely different way. Kind of highlighting the more quieter, lo-fi aspects of the soundtrack that Persona 3 has to offer. Honestly, this is the only opinion that I'm putting down as objective in this video. Persona 3 has a better opening than Persona 5. End of discussion. Now, don't make me go tit for tat for OSTs and the rest of the soundtrack, because that's where it gets completely subjective. Since, my favorite OSTs in Persona 5 might not be the same for others, and vice versa for Persona 3. Both have an extremely well-made soundtrack that works extremely well in-game. I would personally say Persona 5's soundtrack matches the game themes a bit more when you're playing, but I haven't played Persona 3 yet, so I can't really say for sure. But just on a pure listening stance though, just to quickly list my, favorites versus each other with my general ratings on the both of them, sadly Persona 3 has the edge here too. To conclude, these opinions could possibly change when I finish Persona 3 Reload, or had more time, replay value wise on both the songs and the game, like they did for Persona 5. But at the same time, Persona 5 had a lead start in technically being more iconic, which I think will change if Persona 3 Reload delivers on expectations. Regardless, they both delivered extremely great and different soundtracks, to match completely separate game themes. And for now, well, I'm gonna just keep bopping these songs on the daily.